All right, so this Knife Thoughts video is going to be an unboxing on a knife that I got from a fellow collector and gradation cutlery enthusiast, Darren Orrell, also on Blade Forums as Wave Rave, and a really, great guy in the traditional knife community. He created the GEC database, which has been a great tool for me, looking into production totals and things like that. And he was selling a couple of these case Barlows at a really great price because he had bought them. He's getting into modifying knives, rehandling knives, things like that. I think he bought them to do a blade delete and rehandle, but because of how they're stamped, it wasn't working out. So this is a case Barlow. I've been meaning, I did get one of these case Barlows from this 2019 Out of the Vault series of case Barlows, but it was not a well-made knife, so I sent it back. So I'm excited to get one, put one, in my collection and everything. So I'm opening it with this knife. This is a 2008 Gradation Cutlery number 53 Cuban Stockman. So let's open it up. Let's see. I think I got it open, so maybe. Whoops. There we go. So, very well packaged, not a surprise. And here's the box. So, like I said, got it for a good price. These are $51.99, it looks like, from Shepherd Hills Cutlery. This is actually a SFO, I guess. I don't know that that's what they call it, and I think that that's just called a dealer exclusive when it comes to case knives. But the Gradation Cutlery nomenclature that I'm probably more familiar with is a special factory order, but it's a dealer exclusive, and it's kind of a cool, very traditional combination. Let's see if I can get it out. It's very well packaged. So it comes with paper and stuff. But this is the Barlow in smooth yellow synthetic. It's a two blade, as you can see. And first impressions are nice of this. One thing I like about these case Barlows, you can see how deep this main clip point sits. Whoops. It's a little slippery there. I'll leave that in the video. It has some oil on it. I'm sure it came that way from the factory, but a little slippery, but nice action. Nice and snappy, actually. Let's see. No wobble at all in the open. Now, the one that I sent back was very off-centered. Didn't really have very nice scales, but the main thing was that there was a lot of play in the closed position. And this doesn't really have any. You can see it's flexing a little bit, but it doesn't feel like it's loose in the pivot. So that's really nice. Again, I hated to send the one I had back, but I needed to. It would go from one side touching the liner all the way to the other side touching the liner. Same deal on this pen blade, no wobble. Nice action, really nice action on both of those. The pen blade sits a little high for my taste. I will probably drop that kick a little bit. This is going to be a user, but a lot of the case Barlows, not all of them, there were a good number that didn't have this, but a lot of them had a shield, and it just doesn't make sense to me. Why put a shield on a Barlow that has this elongated bolster? It just makes it look too busy to me. I'm not always a huge fan of shields anyway, but definitely not on Barlows. So this was one that this was a configuration that I was interested in anyway, this smooth yellow Delrin. Not the most expensive, not the least expensive of the run, but, pretty reasonably priced, very classic. The yellow Delrin or synthetic is pretty classic handle material for case. And I do like it's actually an engraving. I think it's laser engraved. It's not stamped like a lot of Gradation Cutlery Barlow bolsters are. You can see that it's kind of coarse and rough in there. I do think that it must be laser engraved or something. But I like this. It's a nice, simple, reminiscent of the the vintage case Barlows. Some of them had like scroll, you know, etches and things like that. I like this nice, simple case XX etch or stamp. It's not a stamp, but etch. Let's see. No big gaps, so you can see there's a slight gap there, but nothing too bad at all. And yeah, well centered. So a nice knife. I'm excited. I'm going to put this right in my pocket. Like I said, I'll probably drop the kick of the pen blade slightly. You can't drop it too much because it does sit pretty close. This would be really nice as a single blade, but it sounds like it's not really doable. So I'll just keep this pen blade nice and sharp and not really use it too much, keep it as a backup. And yeah, you can catch slightly on that. So that's really the only big negative on this. I'm probably more sensitive about proud tips than most are. It's not really, honestly, a practical issue, but I just don't like it. So I'm gonna drop that a little bit. But no huge gaps, no, you know, wobble, nice action, and a really nice knife, especially for the price that I got it for. But I think a good deal at the $52 that they're charged from the dealer. So supposedly Case is, you know, only doing these Barlows in 2019. So that should mean that, you know, the run is over. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. They brought it out of the vault for 2019. You can see that has the one little X for 2019. I don't know if that's true or not. They might continue to produce them through 2020 and just be on the same run. But either way, they haven't made them for a while, you know, a few years before 2019. So if you're looking for a Barlow, they're hard to get a Barlow from Gradation Cutlery on the primary market. They can be tough to you know, get, and on the secondary market, they can be really expensive, certainly a lot more than $52. So if you want a Barlow made in the United States, traditional, you know, nice classic Barlow, this might be a good option. Shepherd Hills Cutlery has this one and a bunch of others. They're a big dealer for Case. So check them out. And again, big thanks to Darren. Like I say, great person to know. He's done a lot of, you know, starting threads on Blade forums. He's a moderator or admin on a couple different Facebook groups, including the Gradation Cutlery Club that I also help with. So big thanks to him as always. And again, as always, don't forget to check out my website, knifethoughts.com. I'm hoping to do a full article on this knife, as well as my Instagram and Facebook, as well as now Reddit. Knife Thoughts is my username on all of those. So check out my social media and my website. And as always, don't forget to go out and do good.